in. All right. Shalom. This is Shir Yeshub with Ayo Ben Yahoo, and this is Truth Be Told Flex Podcast Extra. There has been a lot of developing news on the Tyree Nichols story, so we just decided that we could come in and give a little bit on what's been going on. One thing that I saw, Ayo, was the police department. They obviously was having some problems obtaining officers for the city, man. And as a result, Memphis Police Department, they start becoming real relaxed in their job requirements. There used to be a time where they was requesting that you had an associate's degree or 54 college hours. No longer is required, right? They also asked that you only have 5 years work experience. That kind of threw me off because it didn't say 5 years relative experience like security or correctional office or 5 years, you know what I'm saying? You know, something in law enforcement. It just said 5 years, 5 years, that be, 5 years, working at Home Depot. As long as you got 5 years working experience, it seemed like you good for you good to be on the force. But this is the one that really boggled me. And I'm sure you saw this in the article as well. Memphis Police Department also revealed that they was waiving individuals that had felony charges and allowing them also to be police officers. Now, the last I checked, in the 50 states, if you are a felon, you're not even allowed to own a gun. So how can you be a felon and be a police officer?
Make that make sense.
I can't.
Right. What?
Yeah, there's no way you can make sense of that, man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because to every policeman has to have that permit to carry a concealed weapon. Because even though they have it on their hip, they can conceal it without, any hindrance or anything. You ain't got with a policeman, you ain't got to see it. But they can have a firearm.
Exactly, because police. Right.
As a felon, it's national law that you can't have a concealed weapon permit. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just, I guess with the policemen, when they, after the pandemic, they had to relax a lot of requirements.
So is that the laws in Carolina that a felon can't have a concealed weapon? Because the laws here in Texas is that a felon can't own a gun, period. You can't.
Well, that's what
in Texas. You can own a felon can have a gun in his house. That's it. But a felon can't buy a gun, and a felon cannot own a gun. So here in Memphis, they saying, look, even if you got felony charges, we'll waive that and we'll allow you to be a police officer. Well, you going against the federal law, which is felons are not supposed to be able to have guns, period. No. So I don't understand. Exactly. So, you done fired these dudes. And I guess too, with, the stuff that we finished to run down, Ayo, with the list that we're about to run down on this segment, from me at my studyings for it, I said to myself, you done arrested these dudes. I mean, you done fired them and you done arrested them. You have indicted them. They are going to face penalties for what they did. But when it all is said and done, somebody got to come back to Memphis Police Department because they're going to be held liable for this as well.
If, in other words, the old saying, heads got to roll.
Exactly. Because if they had done their job properly, talking about the police department, these clowns wouldn't have been on the force.
Right. And that's what going through these articles and the information that's coming out now. We talked the other day when this happens, like something deeper has got to be going on. Because in my recent memory, I've never seen cops fired and charged that fast.
Right.
You
Right.
can go with the race card. You can say, "Oh, they black, that's why." But I'm like, okay, that's still not enough, though.
Con.
So going through these articles and doing this digging, now it makes
You
sense.
starting to see, you know, why they was fired as fast as they were. Because like you said, man, heads was on the chopping block. There was heads on the chopping block.
Yeah.
When we get to that last story that you just pulled up, when we get to that last story, it might be like a summation of everything as well, especially as to why they got fired so fast, man. But see, being a police officer, in my opinion, is a very important job. Even though I don't like them. I don't like police. I'm going to be honest with you. I was talking to an individual the other day, and I said, I don't believe that all police officers are bad. I believe that there really are some good police officers out there. But for all the ones that are bad, and these are the ones that the media like to highlight, I just say don't care about enough. Bad ones to make me say they all are rotten. You dig what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. But there's no way you can have hiring practices like this, Ayo, where you can just only have 5 years of working from a police. Think about if you went to the doctor to get a surgery and the hospital in which he's working in, like, you know, one of the requirements was just 7 years of work experience. So you could come in and you could practice being a surgeon in the hospital. Would you want that, dude?
You ain't touching me. I don't even want you to touch me if you got 7 years of work experience. Let alone,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? If you've been a doctor for 7 years, let alone just being in the workforce.
And exactly what this say here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how can, and they always talking about bridging the gap between the community and the department, right? Police departments. How can you bridge the gap between the community when you having hybrid practices like this here?
Right. It's and see, as a cop, you know, I get the whole degree thing. You know, I was able, you know, all praise to the Most High, I was able to, after my football injury and loss of scholarship, I was able to go back to college and graduate and get a degree. Okay.
All praises.
So all praises to the Most High for that. So I understand the whole degree thing. And I don't think jobs are now moving away from it, but I understand as far as from an employer point of view. From an employer's point of view, they figure, well, if you got a degree, you finished between 2 to 4 years of college with at least an associate's or some kind of certificate training, you have the tenacity and the propensity to overcome obstacles and finish the job. So just
see something through.
Right, to see something through. So just that alone, as far as a cop, people may say, well, what does a degree have to do with it? From an employer standpoint, that's what they see. Somebody sort of well-rounded can de-escalate a situation. Because, hey, in college, you got to tuck a few professors down off kicking your butt out and giving you another chance. So they figure policemen would be able to do that. But then when you relax that requirement, you just, that's, as an employer, you're saying, hey, we're just gonna get it. We're gonna grab anybody. We don't care.
We taking right, exactly, and there you go. That's the word that I was looking for. How can you run a successful police department when it seems like all you doing is going out there and just hiring anybody? You know what I'm saying? One of the requirements for the LA Police Department was you could be 20 at the time that you sign up, but 21, but you have to be 21 by the time you finish the academy. Tell me, how in the world can a 21-year-old individual have enough experience to be a police officer, especially in a city as big as LA?
Ain't no way.
He's only 21 years old.
Right. And from their standpoint, they say you have to be 21 because you can't be pulling somebody over with the DUI that's 20 and because it's a conflict of interest. They'll say, well, you're not even, I don't think you don't even look old enough to drink. How are you taking me in? You know what I'm saying? And once again, from an employer standpoint, I get that. However, your point is like, how do you even 21 to be a
21
cop? De-escalating situations? Bruh.
Exactly. You a kid yourself. I remember when I was 21. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was grown.
Right.
But life showed me real quick. Man, you still a kid.
You still a kid. When I got 28, 29, and I was thinking back when I was 21, 22, I was like, man, I had no idea what I was up against.
No idea. And see, so we starting to see some of the problems, not just in the Tyree Nichols case, but within the police departments, period, man, as to exactly between the department and the community. Because when I was a kid, I can say this for certain, man. When I was a kid in West Dallas, the police department were police officers was grown men. They were grown men that had sense and they knew the community. They knew people by names.
And it made a difference. But it made the difference. That made the difference. You had a respect for a 44-year-old man that's been on the force for 7 years. And he knew your name and your neighbor's name. You had to listen to what he said.
Exactly. And when they came through, they didn't come through always with the intent to bash somebody's head.
Come on.
They made their presence known to keep the crime down. That's how the crime was down, because you knew that they was there.
Right. Exactly. From petty crimes to big crimes. Hey,
exactly.
I seen y'all kids. I heard y'all kids. Y'all, it's okay for y'all to throw the football in the street, but we been getting reports of rocks being thrown in windows. Don't do that no more.
Right.
They said that.
Don't do that no more.
You listened and you stopped.
And you didn't do it no more. Exactly.
You didn't do it no more.
We had block parties. I remember in West Dallas, we used to have block parties. Police be out there. Police used to be in our hood on horseback a lot. I grew up in West Dallas. Say, man, they come to the block parties, man, and chill with us out. You know what I'm saying? The projects in the block parties. We never had no problems with them, man. It wasn't until after all of these wars that you had all of these military cats come back from all of these wars, and the police department started putting individuals on police, that you start having all of these issues between the department and the community.
Right. That's it. That's it. Wow.
There was another development. You want to run that one by us, the next development?
Yeah, let's get to it, man. This was a few interesting finds in this one. Let's see. This is an article from the New York Times, right? And I'm gonna share my screen, just so that everybody will be able to sort of see what we got. There we go. All right. So you can see right here, it's a New York Times article, and this is talking about the Scorpion unit emerged as Memphis police pursued get tough strategy. So this article was written a couple of days ago, and like we were just talking about, there's more foundational things that America has got to start dealing with that's sweeping this stuff under the rug. No more can you blame Colin Kaepernick for going down on one knee and making it about something else. Making the George Floyd situation about something else. Making the Michael Brown situation about something else. And then not holding or keeping the same energy, as we say, for Dylan Roof when he went to Charleston for the old boy and the Tops grocery store in Buffalo. You see what I'm saying? So this double standard, folks is really starting to be like, nah, we're going to do some digging. And it just so happened that this case is where they're doing the digging. So, New York Times article says city leaders have praised a new group as a key strategy for fighting crime. Now they are trying to assess whether it was flawed from the start. So you see what I'm saying?
Mm.
So somebody out here is
Mm.
like, nah, something don't seem right. Just as we did the other day. We regular citizens out here. And we ain't never been policemen. Even we ascertained, like, wait a minute, this
Right.
thing sound like bad from the start. We just knew before the
Right.
details came out. But here's some of the details. There's a picture, everybody, of Chief Carolyn Davis, and she was sworn in 2021, but it's saying, as you can see right here, that she was only in for a few months in 2021 when she saw that the homicide numbers were rising toward a record rate,
Mm-hmm.
and it was near her hometown, or her home, near her new home downtown, where most of the crime that was happening was drivers reckless driving. Okay. And that seemed to be the foundation of this pullover and arrest, right?
Okay.
So she, as a new chief, the city councilman, the mayor, the governor of the state, they like, look, Memphis has always been this crime city from way back.
Right.
You got to do something. You got to do something. So they put it in her lap, get it done. So
Right.
she had a plan. So for reckless drivers, she told her team officers were to focus less on writing tickets and more on an all-out strategy of seizing cars. So
You
that
see
was the
this?
plan. Right. No more tickets. We're gonna seize cars.
Right.
Violent offenders needed to be targeted with new urgency. If the state could not take a case to court, she determined her agency should ask for federal prosecutors to take the case instead. So there you go. That's the 3-point plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Take cars instead of write a ticket. If they drag racing, take your car. Violent offenders, if we can't get it prosecuted with the state, we're gonna make it an FBI case.
Right.
Right. Now, the article goes on where the writer was saying that the chief was like, we all have to have that understanding about being tough on tough people. You know, she said that in a community event in November of 2021. 2 days later, Chief Davis, the first African-American woman to lead the department, launched her most ambitious strategy, a new police unit named Scorpion. Now, that's an acronym for Street Crimes Operation to Restore Peace in Our Neighborhoods.
Mm.
And I'm sure the councilman was like, oh, that's nice. That's cute. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You got a whole name for your 3-point plan. Carry on. We want to hear more. So it would deploy 40-some officers as a strike team in some of the most volatile corners of the city. So that's
Right.
how pretty much this team, the Scorpion unit, where these 5 officers was a part of, right? But here's where the issue started out. All right, let me enlarge this so the folks can see. It said, before long, some residents complained of heavy-handed tactics of officers from the new Scorpion team, employing punitive policing in response to relatively minor offenses. You see what I'm saying? They got greedy.
Right.
You give a team a new, they have this pride.
Right.
We got a new team. We newly hired. We only been on the force 4 years, and we got the new.
We gotta make a name for ourselves, right?
There you go, Ock. So them boys, them 5 police officers, and the other was went and had a celebration, got drunk at the bar, had a good time. They feeling themselves.
Right.
Probably the first couple months was good.
Right.
Now the citizens, you getting reports are like, man, y'all beating us up.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
So it says that before long, so residents complained of heavy-handed tactics of officers from the new Scorpion team employing punitive policing in response to relative minor offenses. Then came the arrest of and killing of Tyree Nichols, and video footage released on Friday that showed how officers kicked, punched, and used a baton to beat Mr. Nichols as he pleaded with them to let him go home. Not only did we find out, remember we said that he was less than a mile away from home. So I'm learning now that he was 80 yards.
That's what it was, right? Exactly.
Yeah, that's why he was literally calling for his mom because he knew she would hear.
Right.
That's how close it was to his house.
Right.
Man. So let's keep going. It talks about the 5 officers, how they were charged with murder. Community leaders are now trying to assess how a unit that was supposed to ease the violence in Memphis had instead inflicted an attack so brutal that Chief Davis herself calls it heinous and inhumane. So the city announced disbanding of the unit on this past Saturday. And Chief Davis has called for a review of all of the department's specialized units. It says, she says, we still want crime addressed in our communities, but we don't want and the need to kill innocent people to do it. Now, this is said by Van D. Turner Jr., a mayoral candidate who is president of the city's NAACP branch and who served on the recent mayoral advisory council for reimagining policing. So there you go. That's a reimagining policing. That's what that is. That's coming down from the Fed. That's police reform. And they've been talking about that every election cycle. And remember, a while back we talked about how it comes from the president to the governor, the mayor.
Exactly. How it goes down. Exactly. To the chief. Exactly.
So once again, like we just said, our head's gonna roll. This ain't just gonna be the mayor and the councilman. This gonna go back to somebody had to.
But see, this goes back to your hiring process. When you allow people like this here on your police force, right, you're going to get that backlash back. All of this goes back to your hiring practices, man. When you hire unqualified people, they going to do unqualified stuff. They going to do dumb stuff, which is, man, you done gave me a badge? Man, I would tell you right now, 21 years old, you gave me a badge and a gun? Bro. Me, I'm gonna be a bad actor. You dig what I'm saying? That's power, man. You pretty much giving me legal power.
Right.
You pretty much giving me legal power. Go ahead,
No, but you're right. You giving me all the power. Once again, now I got this. I'm not a known felon. I'm a felon. They let me pass that by. I bypassed that. And you gonna give me a gun and a badge?
And a badge.
Come on, man.
I'm a street thug, so I'm gonna do street thug stuff.
I'm gonna do street thug stuff. And as you can see, there's a picture of one of the meetings that when they made the new Scorpion unit. They was having a meeting. You know how the movies show how they had a meeting. Go out and get them, boys, and they clap their hands and they hit
they rah sessions.
Right, one of their rah sessions and pep speeches, and they hit the streets and do what they do. So it said the city had for months touted the Scorpion team as a key to its crime fighting strategy, promoting it as nearly as an overnight success. You hear that? Listen to this terminology that they're using. Let me blow this up so y'all can see that right quick. Right here. The city had for months touted the Scorpion team as key to its crime fighting strategy, promoting it as nearly as an overnight success at a time when the city was posting record homicide numbers.
Wow.
Memphis recorded more than 300 murders in 2021. And we know Young Dolph was apparently one of those murders. Remember, may he rest.
Right.
So by comparison, New York City, which is 13 times larger, had fewer than 500. So you mean this little old city, such as Memphis, was almost close to New York, which is 13 times larger than Memphis.
Right.
So they figured
murders.
You good job, Chief. You just knew in. You got the police numbers on the street after the pandemic. That OOE is out there working. You getting them hired. Good job. So it says that just a few days later, after the Scorpion unit was unveiled, one local television report noted that Memphis police credited with making more than 30 arrests and seizing at least 29 guns and nearly 170 grams of marijuana. So they, like I said, they thought they was on and popping. They thought they were doing good. And then it just goes on. You know, they got praised by Mayor Strickland. He highlighted the unit in the state of the city speech. You know, they had 566 arrests, 390 of them for felonies, $103,000 seizures in cash, 270 vehicles, 253 weapons. She marked her 1-year anniversary on the job in May 2022. Chief Davis gave a presentation, excuse me, to the city council in which she noted some progress in curtailing crime. In a slide titled "Crime Reduction," the Scorpion Unit was her first bullet point. She says, "We created the new Scorpion Unit," she said, adding, "This unit basically targets some of the hotspot areas where we saw frequent aggravated assaults and high crime." And then it goes on to talk about how the people were starting to say that they were describing the officers in this unit as violent bullies, like you said, Doc.
Right.
And said many residents had also questioned why the unit had often used unmarked vehicles, because it was an unmarked vehicle that pulled over Tyree.
Yeah, Tyree.
You know,
I wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest. I'd have been in my driveway.
I would have been in my driveway, bro. And maybe with mom and dad coming out, who telling?
Right.
They, you know, ain't no telling. They might have done what they was going to do anyway and would have made up.
Right. They was going to do that. It was like pit bulls. I don't know if you ever seen dog fights.
Oh yeah.
Them jokers, they're
Yeah, and you're right. I believe once they saw this young man and hit on that radio, oh, there you go. He coming down so and so. That was it. It's all red in their eyes.
He had a habit. His mama say every night he would go take pictures of the sunset at this park, so they knew where he was at. Memphis. I've never been to Memphis, but Memphis don't take me for a town that's that big.
No,
you
not.
know,
I've been there. It's not that.
Yeah. So so I'm sure they knew who he was and about what time he was going through, so they was looking for him. You know what I'm saying? And when they spotted his car, it was like you said, "Hey, there he is. Let's go get him.
Right.
Let's go get him." But every major city, come up with these special task force units.
Yeah.
Scorpion unit. In Los Angeles, it was called Crash, which was Crash's Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums, right?
Yep.
I know in Dallas, they call just the gang unit. That's what they call in Dallas. In New York, they had a aggressive squad that was called the Anti-Crime Unit, right? Yeah, you had, and which was to stop and frisk. That's what they used to do, right?
Yep.
These police, and this is the thing, man, with Scorpion, Crash, gang unit, anti-crime unit, whatever it is that you want to call it, these special units within police departments are nothing more than gangs.
Right. That's it.
That's all they are. They are gangs that have the power of the police department behind them. So they go into these neighborhoods, say that they're fighting crime. They're not fighting crime, man. What you're doing is bullying.
That's what you're doing.
You bullying. That's what you're doing. And they call this a win, talking about an overnight success because they had, where is it at? Where is it at? You read it just a while ago. 30 arrests. Yeah. Because you have more than 30 arrests that you seized in these 29 guns and nearly 170 grams of marijuana. Listen to what your acronym says. It says street crime operation to restore peace.
To restore peace. Right.
To restore peace. So my question is, how can you restore peace in an act of violence, Ayo?
Right. And that's basically what this article is saying. This article is saying, looks like we can't quite tell yet. Once we investigate and put it all together, it looks like this was from the foundation.
Right.
Once he laid out their plan, she may not even have known, but somebody went to them boys and said, look, I'll pay y'all extra under the table. Do what you got to do.
Right. Do what you got to do. Exactly. Because it's not about bringing peace with the police departments. Right. It's about money and numbers, man. How many can you arrest? How many tickets can you write? How much drug money can you bring in? How much drugs can you bring in? And you do that by any means necessary, man. They ain't cared about no peace.
Right. Somebody went to them and said that. You know how I know? Once again, they always slip up. Those numbers ain't padded. 270 vehicles, 10% of 270 is 27. Out of 27,
come on now.
I know at least 5 people got popped upside their head.
You know they did.
Come on.
You know they did.
Somebody got their arm broke, their foot broke, because now they're saying people are starting to come around and saying, look, I've been harassed too. They didn't take
You
my
give
car,
the
but they
you give
followed
these
me
special
everywhere I went.
units You give these special units special permission to go into these neighborhoods, kick people doors in, harass people, shake people down, beat up people, and all of this here. Take from the people. That's what these special units do, man. If you're really concerned about restoring peace, you're going to put officers in these neighborhoods that's going to connect with the community.
Right. That's not going to be scared to go in the neighborhood and say, "Look, I ain't even got my gun, little kids.
Exactly.
I'll come to shoot basketball with y'all for a little bit. Let's go around
Exactly.
the football."
That's
You
how
don't
you restore peace.
right. Where's the trust between each other? How is that
Exactly.
restoring peace? If I'm just, you was 20 miles, you 5 miles over, I'm not gonna give you a ticket. I'm taking your car. So the person like,
Right.
what? What do you
Right.
mean? I'm not gonna
Right.
get a ticket. You
Right.
don't talk back to an officer. Pop, pop, pop.
Right.
So
Right. You know what I'm saying?
it's crazy, bro.
Scorpion. To restore peace in our neighborhoods. Nah, it's not to restore no peace in your neighborhood. Back in West Dallas again, man, they had a subdivision in my neighborhood. And that subdivision was the head of a Pee Wee football team. Police officers was the coaches of the Pee Wee football team in my neighborhood. That's how you restore peace in the neighborhood.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That's how you restore peace in the neighborhood.
Put a
Now,
celebrity football game, baseball game with local radio personalities or whatever. Invite the police. Have a softball game.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And we did that too. We used to have softball stuff like that. You know, within the community. And if anybody know anything about Dallas, you know that West Dallas was not the most favorable neighborhood to be in back in the late 80s and early 90s, you know?
Right.
Another development, I want to share this one, man.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, hold on. I want to share this one, dude. All of this is starting to make sense as to why this boy was beat the way he was beat. D.L. Hughley said something that I don't agree with. D.L. said that when it happened, black people wasn't surprised about it. I was like, I don't know what black people he know, but I was really surprised. Right. I said,
I was too.
5 black cops. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't never seen that, man, because statistics shows this is a statistic that I just came across yesterday. I have problems with that word. I always have statistics.
We all do statistics.
But they show, yeah. It shows that black police officers are way less violent than white police officers.
Come on.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's the first time I've ever heard of any so-called black police officers beating anybody. You just don't hear that.
Now, that was a gang mentality move what they did to that boy. I done seen a bunch of niggas jump somebody. I done seen that many a times. But just police officers though? Yeah. That's because you hold your police officers to a different standard, right? But when you are hiring felons on your force, there ain't no standard. So that means that you got the same cats that we go to the club with on your police force, or the same cats that we sit up and drink with and play dominoes with, they on your police force. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Man. Some crazy stuff.
So there is no standards. So yeah, it makes sense as to why this boy lost his life by the hands of the Memphis Police Department.
Right.
This is another development that threw me off, and this goes back to the hiring process. It says, were the Memphis cop members of the Vice Lord gang investigate tip that 3 of 5 officers in the Memphis Police Department beating of Tyree Nichols were members of the Vice Lord, and under their direction, other gang-directed beats were reportedly found on their phones. recorded as proof carrying out the beatings. Other gang-directed beatings were reportedly found on their phones. This goes back to their hiring process.
That's
one thing
the
I know about
foundation.
police departments in major cities. One thing I know about police departments police departments in major cities is that they know the gangsters in their cities.
Come on, man.
They know who gang bang cities. They know from the OGs all the way down to the BGs that just got off the porch. They know all of them.
They know.
So there is no way you're going to have 3 out of 5 police officers members of the Vice Lord gang and you not know it when you hired them.
Come on, man.
No way.
Ain't no way.
Memphis Police Department should be held liable.
Yes. I also believe the city
there should
council,
be a civil suit.
There should be a civil suit out. A huge one. Because going back to that first article I wanted to read, listen to this. We were all tripping over ourselves to give them compliments because we have a violent crime problem and drag racing problem, said one member of the city council, Worth Morgan. But it was done under the pretext that they would protect and serve and not violate anyone's rights. And these officers did in a hugely problematic way. Oh, y'all was tripping over yourselves? You know why you was
right?
You knew their backgrounds and you hired them anyway.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
In the eye at one of them tuxedo dinners that she would take care of it and not have anything go wrong. And she couldn't handle it. They got greedy.
She couldn't handle it. Nah, you was absolutely right. Now you good because the thing is, this goes to show why. Now the thing we were surprised about is how fast they got fired. Never seen that before. And now it's starting to make sense why they was fired so fast, because people had to protect their jobs, man. Because see, when something like this happened, what do people start doing? The same thing we doing. They start looking into stuff, man. And my mama has always told me, when you look for, you find. When you look for it, you gonna find it.
Yeah, man.
And sometimes you find stuff that you're not even looking for.
They got right. I'm sure when them cops, they didn't think they was going to get arrested. So when they got picked up, put themselves in, they had no idea and didn't remember. The Most High wiped it from their memories about them videos and beatings on their
Con. Well, I also found out, I don't know if you heard this or not, that Scorpion unit, they used to host underground street fights.
Yeah, they in Memphis. Street fighting, what they call it?
It was a street fighting club. Fight club. Exactly. You can't tell me that the department did not know about that, man. You gotta know about what your children is doing. And that's who street police are. They are the children of the police department. If you don't know what your children are doing, you are unfit parent.
Unfit parent. They just didn't think it was going to be uncovered like this, because a good way to, like you just said a little while ago, a good way to learn and notice the habits and characteristics of gangs throughout your community is hire former gang members and keep it covered up.
Con.
They know they know the territories. They know what it looked like. They know where to go.
You said something operative though. You said former gang members. These jokers are active gang members.
Active, bro.
They not former.
Right. That was an active.
Exactly.
Jumping in with the way they did.
Do this not all make sense now as to how it went from a stopping to a beating so fast? When they got to the car, they snatched him out the car. If you stopping him for reckless driving, police got a routine. I don't care where it's at, man. I done been stopped from Texas to Florida. When they stop you, they walk up and ask you for license and registration. Even if they know you.
They yanked him out.
They yanked that boy out the car, man.
So that's what I was saying, Tyree Nichols, unfortunately, left here and no longer has life with that happening. But they did that so routinely. So they must have been doing this,
Yes, this is the kind of
Sneaking
stuff the
cars off.
Scorpion unit do. This is what the police gang do. You got street gangs, then you got police gang. This is how the police gang act. And you know what? Was his name Lonzo? And they do
Remember
it.
we said that.
Yes,
Some training day
exactly.
stuff.
It's
Remember
the training day stuff, man. They go through and they terrorize people in the neighborhood, and then when somebody say you can't do this, they tell you, yeah, I can. Why you can do it? Because I'm the police. That's why.
Right. Because I'm the police. I have all of y'all shooting basketball at Pelican Bay.
Pelican Bay.
That's what Lonzo told us.
See?
Man, this is deep, y'all. This is some.
They knew who that boy was, man. They wasn't stopping that boy over no dead gun reckless driving, man. That was personal. That's the one thing I bet you most black people saw when they saw that. It's something else to that, man. That is not what you would call a regular police brutality. I don't consider this police brutality.
No. This was, bro, if you really think about it, then this is my opinion and alleged. I feel like this is first degree premeditated murder.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. And when the information come out, it's probably going to be upcharged, man. Because if this information that you just put on our lap, no, not that information. The information that just came out today, or was it yesterday, that he worked with the ex-girlfriend and they were supposed to been dating and he wanted her back.
Right.
And as a result, this is what happened. And he took pictures of the boy and sent it to the girl. Those pictures still out there if it's true. I don't care how many times you deleted it off your phone.
It's out there. It's saved to Google Photos or some kind of, Google save all your photos. And Tennessee is a capital punishment state too. So
come on now.
Hold on for the ride, because
right.
These boys might get sentenced to death.
That's real talk. That is real talk.
If they come in retrospect in a couple weeks and the DA say the feds ain't got involved and we got enough evidence, like Cher just said, you made a good point. We found pictures of him on his phone taking pictures of him and the girl in the parking lot talking. He planned this. He told the other officers about it. They were in on it.
Yeah. Well, and they also said that he took pictures of Tyree Nichols after they whooped him and sent it to the girl. You know?
Like, look what
and if he did that, man, exactly. Oh, this the cat. Oh, this the cat that you want to be with? Look at him now. Type stuff, right?
That's right. And I could see in that dude's eyes on his mug shots. I could see that.
Right.
I could see it.
Con. Serpent, snake.
Envy,
right.
I see it, bro.
Right.
It's all on it. It's all on
it's just like you said before we started too. I ain't even know cats trip like that nowadays. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I stopped tripping over women a long time ago.
Bro.
A long time ago. I stopped tripping over women, man. When I realized this, man, and this even goes with my wife, and she knows it, to let you know that I ain't playing right now. I love that girl to death. Been married to her 21 years.
Come on.
But it ain't a Negro in this world, nigga. I'm gonna shoot her. If I knuckle up with you, it's because of something that you did. Because she ultimately made the decision that that's where she want to go.
Right. Absolutely. That's it. Yeah, man.
She made the decision.
I knew it had to be something personal, but when I heard, people talk about simping online all the time and joke about it, but then when I put this together and it started making sense, I was like, yo, I can't. That's crazy.
It was a personal beating, man. That was a personal beating. That was a personal beating. Over a woman.
That ain't like you just said, that ain't made no vows to.
You see what I'm saying? No. Over a woman, man. And then you got the white dude. I want to run through this one real quick. You got the white dude. I think his name was Phil something. I had it pulled up yesterday. I ain't got it now. the sixth person. Now it's been seven, a total of seven, but he was the sixth person who he was relieved of his duties. He wasn't fired, but he was a white dude that was there, and he was the one that was tasing the boy. So I don't understand why he not fired.
Right. I believe that saying that he's relieved of his duties is just trying to make it a little more palatable.
Right.
Because
Right.
the black officers, they got fired. There you go, right there.
Right. There you go. That's him.
We're gonna
Right.
just relieve him of his duties.
We're just gonna relieve him of his duties pending investigation. That's how it normally be. You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody tripping that the black cops got fired even before the investigations, right? They fired. He relieved of his duties, but he was the one that was tasing the boy. So you got a hand in him dying too. So you should have murder charges on you as well.
You should have the same second-degree murder that everybody else got.
That everybody else got.
Everybody else got.
Everybody else got.
You didn't say stop it. You didn't get there and say, what are y'all doing? You didn't get there and say, y'all wrong. You got to tase the boy.
Now, and there was one more thing too. There was one more thing. I don't know if you heard about this one. They were saying that the boy died 3 days later.
Yeah, I don't.
It's possible that boy was dead on the concrete.
His mother, she allegedly. I know we got to say,
con.
Allegedly, she, a mother is going to know her son or daughter, her child, that she carried for 9 to 10 months in her birth.
Right.
She says in the interviews that she believes he died at the stop sign.
That's what she said.
Because when he got to the hospital, they had to allegedly use the ventilator because he wasn't breathing on his own.
And
when she got to the hospital and saw him, she knew
he was already gone. And this is probably one of the reasons, and I brought that up because this is probably one of the reasons the EMT didn't try to do anything for him when they got there. He was already gone.
And
they done lost their job. They rolled up on a bad scene.
Now their job gone. And apparently, I can't remember if it was shouts to Willie D. He's been doing some great investigation on this too. Some other bloggers and podcasters is getting in the circles that it's believed that one of the police officers' body cam, they was trying to have the light from the flashlight reflected so you couldn't see it. The body cam. And it was trying to block the view of the body cam.
So they're not gonna turn it off. They was trying to block it. It was on.
Flashlight. It was right. They wanted to keep it on.
Right.
And I believe what happened is that they literally made that plan. Like I said, that this stuff is going to be first-degree murder, bro.
Yeah.
Once they get done, they're playing all this. So I think they plan to have their flashlights going into. I
wouldn't necessarily give them cats the death penalty though myself. Let them joke with these cops we talking about. Man, being locked up with inmates and cats that you done beat up on the streets and done arrested. Give it to them.
Give it to them. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to let them rot.
Give it to him.
I just wanted to put that out there. That Tennessee is
a capital punishment state. Exactly.
Yeah. This stuff
there's definitely going to be more information that's out. Oh yeah, you found out something too. I run that by us, man. That last thing that you found out about the chief.
Listen, look at this. I didn't know this. I did not know, and if I've heard about it,
if I sent that to my, that's the wrong place. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? If I've heard about it before, then I totally forgot about it. But there's a New York Post article and other articles. Now, the New York Post article that I have here is the only one that's up. I mean, I even went to Reddit, and Reddit is like a sub newspaper article where you can post anything that's relevant, and they took it down from Reddit. It said if you go to
Right.
Reddit, it says this post or an article is no longer available. Now you can see all the comments,
Right.
but the New York Post has an article, and
So
the
she
owner
had
Reddit,
somebody to scrub it.
she had
Somebody scrubbed it
out.
for, yeah, somebody
Scrubbed it
scrubbed
for
it.
her. And this is what's happening. And what, like we said before, you said something profound. Heads gonna roll. This
Right.
thing is gonna go back to the city councilman that approved this Scorpion unit.
Right.
Because now Memphis Police Chief Carolyn Davis fired from previous Atlanta job after botched sex crimes probe. So
Right.
you say, I said, wait a minute, what? So, but then you say sex crimes probe. Okay, it can't be that bad. So if you read, it says the chief of police in Memphis, in charge of the 5 officers who fatally beat and tasered motorist Tyree Nichols, was fired from a previous law enforcement job after a botched probe. Sherilyn C.G. Davis became the first female police chief in Memphis history in 2021 and is currently in the international spotlight after 5 cops brutally beat Tyree Nichols. She was fired. Here you go. She was fired from the Atlanta Police Department in 2008 for her alleged involvement in a sex crime investigation into the husband of an Atlanta police sergeant, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So this is documented stuff, y'all. 2 detectives accused Davis of telling them not to investigate Terrell Marion Crane, who was married to Sergeant Tanya Crane, after the police department obtained photos of him with underage girls.
Dirty. See, all of that article didn't come up on my phone. Right. That's why I was asking you, what did he do, right? It stopped. Mine stopped up there. Yeah. Okay, then. Cool.
Here's the last of it. Check this out. A federal grand jury later indicted Terrell Crane on child pornography. He pleaded guilty to 1 count in 2009. So you don't think the city councilman knew this when they hired this chief?
They had to, man. They had to.
Fast, and they are
fast. Exactly. Exactly. Because while you investigating them, you gonna come into information about her as well, and she know that.
Come on, they covered.
She was the one that made the call to get rid of them boys.
Yes.
And I bet she mad at them. It just, you got to think at the age that we are. And I'm sure she's probably a few years older than us, but she's at an age of understanding and reasoning now, right? And she's about ready to settle down in life, right? Yeah. And here you got these young pups, because that's what they are, young ignorant pups out here on the street that done did something stupid, just like Jay Prince Sr. Yeah. When Jay Prince Sr. got the word that Takeoff got killed in his city, he woke up that morning with a bad day. He went to sleep and woke up, and that was the first thing. That was a bad day. So when this chief got this word that, hey, these boys out here just done whoop this dude to death, and they was out there laughing about it. I don't know if you seen that video or not, but they was laughing about it, saying, man, that stuff was fun, right? That was fun. That's what they said. And I'm sure that when they came across her desk, she had a bad day. Now she got to clean up what she done. It's all you put them on your voice.
It's like the Dr. Seuss book, Carolyn Davis and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's the biggest headache ever in her life.
Exactly. She got way more to lose than them.
Oh, man.
I mean, not really, because they about to lose their life, but I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Career-wise.
Exactly.
To be fired from a previous job covering, and once again, like we talked before, this goes to show she has the propensity or the cycle or the habit of covering things up. This is why they're trying to hurry up and scrap it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Put them on trial, and so people can forget about her.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's one more thing I want to mention too, as far as the beating of Tyree Nichols. One of the first things I saw when it happened, was, and I think I shared this with y'all, because I know I shared it with my wife, is that it still goes back to police training. Because when you watch that beating, they really didn't do anything different than what most other police do when they beat.
Right.
You just go back, just go get on YouTube and go watch police brutality. You will see that what they did to Tyree was pretty much what all police officers do, and it goes back to police training. The only thing that they did different is that they never gave Tyree an opportunity to not comply.
Right.
Y'all walked up on this brother's car and snatched him out of his car. Y'all didn't ask him what his name was. Y'all didn't ask him for his license. Y'all didn't ask him, you know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't try to tell him what you pulled him over for. None of that. That was the only thing different about what they did to him than what normal police officers do. So with that being said, that's why they standing on the corner when it's over with laughing, talking about it was fun, because in their mind, because of how police officers are trained, Ayob, they didn't do anything wrong.
Crazy.
They didn't do anything wrong. And Demetrius Haley, that's his name. This dude here got a history of bad acting. He used to be a correctional officer, and he was being sued by a dude by the name of Sledge, who was an inmate, for them putting their paws on him and slamming his head into a sink.
Yep, he got a history of beating people up.
He got a history of it. You see what I'm saying? And then you got this dude Thaddeus, who is also the other cat that's on there. He is a Q dog, right? And he was the president of his chapter, and he got allegations brought on him.
Yeah.
He got allegations brought on him for hazing and violence in the hazing and stuff like this, man.
Yeah, even got brought down to the carpet, like on some real charges. Like they was about to turn him out the chapter or whatever.
Right.
Too far in what he was doing. It's
what it was that he was doing.
Like you said,
exactly.
That's why I believe they was part of the Vice Lords or
Vice Lords.
I can believe that. I can. It makes sense.
So, and if that's the case too, and if they have images and videos in their phones from direct hits from gang members telling them that this is what they need to do, there's going to be some more arrests outside of the police department. Because you know they're going to snitch.
Somebody going to tell it, bro.
You know they're going to snitch, all right?
Yeah, man.
You know they're going to snitch.
It ain't going down how they thought. They thought they weren't gonna either get in trouble, or if they thought they were gonna get in trouble, they was like, "Oh, we got it. Don't worry about it." But somebody got more information that's got to, because hey, once you get in that cold room, like they be doing on First 48, bro, they be putting them boys in that room.
Oh man, trust me, I know how cold it is. Boy, it's so cold. Man. It's so cold. You get toilet paper and you wet it, and you wet it, and you be throwing it at the vent, trying to stop that joke. And I don't know what they like in Memphis, but we had aluminum benches. That's all we had. Aluminum benches and a concrete floor. Man. Yeah, with a little bitty thin cover. Yeah, and they might give you a mattress. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
bro. That's once they remind them boys of that they can face that.
Yeah. Now you on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? You no longer putting people in that situation. You are in that situation, man. My heart goes out to Tyree Nichols. My heart goes out to his mother and to his father. I do believe that these cats should get everything that the law should offer them. I want to make that known. I'm not taking up for these cats because they black, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But this the thing. Black police are not black, they blue. And in an incident like this here, they're about to realize that the blue is not even finna have their back, man.
Nope.
Blue is not finna have it. You see what I'm saying?
Prosecute these jokers to the fullest.
They deserve it.
They deserve
it without a doubt. They deserve it. But it's so funny. It's so funny how fast it's happening, though. You see what I'm saying? It's happening fast.
Lightning speed. I ain't never.
It's happening fast. And you know what, too? There's no way I'm gonna tell you what they gonna spin in the media, that justice is being served swiftly on police officers. So this time we got it right. Look, I want it to be the same way the next time it happened. And we know it's going to happen again because we in America.
Come on. Come on.
I want to see it to happen the next. I want to see it to happen this fast because you done showed that you can do it.
Right.
You done showed that you can do it.
You showed you could do it.
So it ain't no excuses now. So the next time it happened and it's a white cop beating a black dude and he done beat him to death, we want this same treatment.
No manslaughter charges. It need to be second or first degree murder. And that
For
very
real.
next, within 3 days, they need to be charged, not let go, not relieved of duty, not desk duty, not sitting behind the desk doing paperwork. They need to be fired.
They need to be fired because you done showed that you can do it.
You can do it. So from this point on, see, this is why I say they always slip up. Y'all
Yeah.
act fast, as you should
Yeah.
act fast. But
Right.
we're just saying, keep that same energy,
Keep that same energy.
same thing going, player.
Keep that same energy. You got any closing remarks? I did not even think we was gonna be in here this long, man. But it's
I didn't think we was gonna be here this long, but as a black male in this society, Tyree Nichols was our brother.
Con, he was.
Never met him, but his mother looks like my mother.
Con.
My father, his sisters, his friends that he worked,
That's
look
right.
like my community.
That's
The
right.
people that lived his life
That's right.
look like the same people that went to church with you.
That's
now that
right.
you're in the truth, look like the same people that's in the truth.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there's no excuse. I just want to say that with Shanquella Richardson, you know, Breonna Taylor, Philando Castile.
Breonna Taylor.
I mean, the list goes on and on. And I found out today that Breonna Taylor, that, you know, the Louisville thing a couple years ago that they raided the house, her and Tyree share the same birthday. June
To the
5th,
date, to the year.
1993. To the year.
To the date, to the year. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
Shanquella Richardson, she died at the hands of our own people. Same as
Of our own people. Yep.
of his own people. So there's similarities. Folks, just stay with the Most High, stay connected, because it's most definitely spiritual warfare going on. So
It really is. It really is. And don't forget to join us Thursday on Truth Be Told Flex podcast. I appreciate you.
and
Heart, like I say, heart go out to the family of the Nichols family, and say, man, and you know what, dude? That dude was only 24. The Demetrius dude was only 24 years old. All of them was pretty young, man. So my heart goes out to their parents as well, because
right.
that's the last thing that I'm sure that their parents were expected. You know how we are. You know how our mothers are. Black mothers are. They just proud. They proud of their babies. They on the police department. You know, they on the police part. Yeah, you know, and come to see your baby on the news with a mug shot that done took somebody's life over something. Yeah. So my heart go out to their family as well, man, for real. But them, even though they are my brother, I read the law. And the law say when a man takes somebody's life, his life need to be taken. That's right.
That's it. That's
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Those cats was old enough and competent enough to know that they was doing wrong. It was just a matter of time before it caught up with them, because that wasn't the first time that they had done that.
Nope. And
that was not the first time that they had done that.
Right. And we talked earlier, Ark, about how the Most High never disciplined Esau. He just let him keep going and keep going and keep going and say, your crocodile tears, with that ruach you got, spirit you got, you ultimately gonna hang. I'm gonna give you enough rope
to hang yourself. Yep.
That's what happened. These brothers, like you just said, these brothers, they knew what y'all old enough to know what was going on, and you thought you was getting away with it. You got greedy.
Yep.
Ultimately, done you in.
Yep. This dude here was little dude, man, 150 some pounds. Boy, I ain't been 150 some pounds since high school. Little dude, man. And there was some big old fellas, man. Them cats was big. There was some big dudes. Yup. So with that, so with that being said, this is Truth Be Told Flex Podcast Extra. Shalom. This is where we'll come and we'll drop them hot. I don't think they'll normally be this long. I don't know, but this is still good though to me though.
Feel good.
Yeah. But we'll be at the Truth Be Told Flex Podcast 30 Thursday. Don't forget to join us, and I'm more than sure that Tyree Nichols is probably going to be a part of the story. I'm sure he's going to be a part of the story.
Yep.
With that being said, shalom. We'll see you Thursday.
Shalom.